It's not Biden against the GOP on the debt ceiling, it's Biden versus the electorate. Voters obviously do not want the debt ceiling lifted without expenditure reductions, but President Joe Biden is desperately trying to avoid any meaningful spending restrictions and debt limit talks. 60% of Americans reject extending the debt ceiling unless federal spending is cut, according to a recent CNN survey. Yes, the left-leaning CNN. This includes 45% of Democrats and even 58% of independents. Less than a quarter, or 24%, believe Congress should raise the debt ceiling no matter what, as requested by Biden and company. Americans are aware that spending increases debt. Furthermore, expenditure is out of control and is at its highest level since World War II as a percentage of the economy. Democrats increased spending by trillions of dollars under Biden. As a result, the economy is suffering from increased debt, out-of-control inflation, and Federal Reserve interest rate increases. Voters are aware that the purpose of a debt ceiling is to make people talk about their expenditures. Biden ultimately consented to engage after House Republicans passed legislation to increase the cap with slight cutbacks that keep next year's spending at last year's levels. Although Speaker Kevin McCarthy has hinted that he may make some adjustments, the spending for the following year must still be less than this year's spending binge of $6.2 trillion. Biden is reportedly trying to cut back on a lot of his spending, including the social welfare and environmental bonanza that was approved before voters gave the GOP control of the House. However, doing so would require deceiving Republicans into lowering military, despite the fact that threats from China, Russia, Iran, and other countries are becoming more serious. The president and his team, including Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, use fear tactics to get the GOP to budge, claiming that a June 1 default date will result in economic chaos. They assert that this would be the Republicans' fault for pushing for cuts, disregarding what the electorate wants. In fact, Uncle Sam might have enough money to get by until mid-August without taking out any new loans. Additionally, even if there are financial difficulties, the government can avoid default by prioritizing debt repayment over other costs, such as those for national parks, environmental subsidies, and non-essential personnel who can be laid off. While none of it is perfect, it would prevent default and scarcely bring about the end of the world. Again, if Biden hadn't steadfastly refused to engage McCarthy in negotiations for more than 14 weeks, the negotiations may now be far further advanced.